Lord Duma, Patriarch of the Dumahim, planned to use us as cannon fodder in his bid to oust Turel as leader of the Empire. For the sake of my clan, the last blood of Raziel, I had no choice. I would cross the lines of war and make an agreement with the humans.
You expect me to believe that you would sell out the other bloodsuckers? Why should I believe one word out of the mouth of any of you leeches?
Which would be a formidable task in and of itself. I would have thought you humans would understand the concept of life or death as a motivation.
Oh, we understand that well enough. But still, you are about to win the war, as you've said yourself. Why come to us now?
No! My clan are not winning anything. But that doesn't matter to you. Duma is the one who has pushed your species to the brink. Do you desire his death? The chance to destroy his reavers and shatter the backbone of the vampire armies? Or do you not?
I could hardly turn such an offer down. But how do I know it's not a trap?
I would hardly need to resort to deception to ruin you. Your species is already on the verge. The question is, how much of a risk are you prepared to take to survive? Gather whatever troops you can spare and await in secret outside the walls of the Dumahim city to the north, in the foothills beneath the Erebus Mountains. If the gates open, I have honored the agreement. If they do not, I am dead, and you have one less vampire to worry about. If Duma even suspected what I was about to do, my clan would be marked for death once more, and this time, the usefulness we might provide in battle would not sway him. My only option was to move quickly, to strike with the element of surprise, and to hope that the humans accepted my invitation. The ironic fact that my only bid for my clan's freedom were the very humans had spent years now fighting was not lost on me. I return not to the battlefield, but to the Kain, the last preserved sanctuary of my kin. This underground dwelling was more home to us than anywhere else. It had been here my generation of the Raziel had been placed to protect us from massacre following Raziel's execution. Locked within this city and its vault, we had been alone in the dark, clawing our way up and out with our bare hands so we could find the blood we needed to survive. Since then, we had returned it to its former glory, and it served as our place of refuge.
Iskandar?
How many are here?
Only 50. Most of the clan is away south with the main force, preparing to assault Meridian. But we have
I want every vampire in the Kain ready to fly come nightfall, and have enough strength to fight.
Yes, I will see to it, but
But what?
we have a visitor.
Going somewhere in a hurry, Iskandar, and leaving the entire Kain deserted. That's certainly not like you.
Boaz! What was he doing here? Yes, my scouts reported a human stronghold with some forces inside. Seems they plan to flank our army as it marches south. I intend to burn them out.
Actually, that's something I would like to talk to you about. In private?
Of course. This way.
Well preserved.
What is?
The statue of Raziel. I think it's the only one of him left standing.
We treasure it.
Despite his treason.
Regardless of any sin he might have made, he is still our creator. What is it you wanted to talk about?
Times are changing, my friend. We need to change with them. It would be best for you and your clan if you pulled some of your forces back from the siege of Meridian.
And why is that?
They'll be needed elsewhere. Lord Duma did not believe he would need you at first, but I was able to persuade him that Your help would be essential in taking his greatest military objective. We intend to take the Crucible.
I already knew that, of course, but to come out and just tell me their dishonorable intentions? Duma intends to declare war on Torel?
It won't be much of a war. Most of his warriors will be fighting on the walls of Meridian, and once we take the Crucible, we can pull Torel himself down in one swift strike. Lord Duma will rise to dominate the Empire, and those who support him will reap great rewards.
So as soon as the humans fall, the clans return to fighting amongst themselves? Is that the way of things?
You're still not being observant, are you, Iskandar? Our society is changing. The mere notion of clan is becoming outdated. This new era is an era of alliances. Allies to Duma as you are, you and yours could rise back to positions of power. The sins of the father wiped clean.
How very alluring you make it all sound.
I would have thought you, of all people, would welcome such an opportunity.
You say clans are a thing of the past, yet it is all I hold dear.
Your clan is what holds your bloodline back. The name Razia Lim has a stigma upon it. By being part of an alliance, you can cast it aside and be free of its burden.
If it were Duma's name that was sullied, would you do so?
Instantly. Lord Duma is the first to recognize the truth of the new order. Those who are strong prey on those who are weak. Look, do you see? I bear the marks of ascending to follow his path. Think on it, Iskandar. The attack will begin in 3 days. If I were you, I would be there with as many of your warriors as you can spare.
I would be lying if I said that the prospect of having the stain of Raziel's dishonor wiped clean from my kin was not appealing. There would be nothing any true Raziel would want more. Boaz said I needed to be more observant, and I had taken his advice to heart. I stood there, looking up into the face of my patriarch statue for a long time. I saw their steadfast devotion and discipline, fierce determination, married to unwavering loyalty. This was not the face of a traitor. How had I passed by the statue so many times and never really looked at it before? As I pondered this, the offer Boaz had made me seem to shrink until I saw it for what it truly was, an empty, meaningless thing. It was not their place to question our worth. It was ours to question theirs. If Lord Duma was capable of such duplicity now, why not in the past? Why had it never occurred to me before to doubt what he had told me that day I had fallen at his feet?
Your orders, Iskandar.
We fly at nightfall. Kain, forgive what I am about to do.
It's done. The gate is open.
Then let the slaughter begin. I do not know the humans had this many warriors to spare for this attack, nor how they managed to conceal their movements, and I did not care. They poured into Duma City, and the arrogant Dumahim were caught completely by surprise. They had considered the war won, all but over. Now the vengeful, desperate tides of humanity were at their throats, in the supposed safety of their own city. I had not expected the humans to fight with such savagery and skill and to serve only as a means of drawing Duma out into the open. It seems I had underestimated them as well.
This way! To the throne room! Let's kill this so-called king of leeches.
You think you can just come to my castle and put me down like a dog? You are welcome to try, human.
There! Duma has emerged! Flank him on either side! When there is an opening, strike!
Escandor!
Boaz! They were on us before I could react! Over 24 Dumahim Reavers! My kin took to the air to defend themselves, and Boaz had me firmly in his talons!
You traitorous scum! You brought them here! You let them in!
Yes! Yes, I did!
Why? You could have had all of Nosgoth at your feet under Lord Duma! You would have ruled supreme!
I already told you, Boaz! Nothing is more important to me than the bond of my clan! He was stronger, but I had the speed advantage. It left us more or less evenly matched. I lost track of the struggle between his troops and my own, or even how the battle progressed below us. The two of us fought over the shaft that led down into the great furnace that warmed Duma's northern stronghold in the harshest winters. I could feel the warmth of it through the soles of my feet.
Your clan! Your clan is disgraced, reviled, hated! You are the sons of a traitor, and so of course you follow his example!
Gladly. I would rather follow my own patriarch's example than yours.
My patriarch was stronger than yours! Strong enough and wise enough to know how to deal with scum like Raziel!
What?
There's only one place for weaklings and traitors. Duma and Terrell saw to it Raziel was put in his place. At the bottom of the abyss!
My wing! It was badly mangled. I couldn't get it to open.
If it were up to me, that's where I would put you and the rest of his spawn. But I'll have to settle for simply planting your heads on spikes before the walls of the city, along with those of your human pets.
Then, I suppose the saying is true. Woe to the conquered! One sharp kick was all that damaged plate needed to give away. I managed to catch a hold of the edge in time to save myself. Boaz was not so lucky. The furnace went out and the heat that filled this stronghold began to die away. That might be the very last time it would ever be used. Below I could see the humans continuing their work. There was almost nothing left of the many Dumahim who had called this city home now. But what of Duma himself? I had to be sure of him.
In pain, Leech? Angry? Didn't think we could bring you down.
I will feel the flesh from your bones for this.
Take him, boys.
This I would have never expected. The humans have not needed any help from me or my king to bring Duma down. Forced up against his own throne, the Lord of the Dumahim had two long stakes stuck into that huge body of his. I watched in macabre fascination, almost spellbound. In that final moment, Duma noticed my presence.
You!
Duma, the ambitious vampire lord who had held sway and plotted to take control of Kain's mighty empire, would sit on a throne eternally now.
I'll tear your eyes out for this, Iskander!
Impossible! How could he have survived the furnace? Ah! His talons raked my face viciously, biting deep enough to hit bone. Even a vampire would have difficulty healing such scars as these. It was her, the alchemist I had made the offer to. Lisey, if I recalled her name. She stood over me with many other hunters at her side, carrying the cannon which had destroyed Boaz and looking at me with a contemplative expression. I was wounded and exhausted. I had little to offer in defense of my own life.
What's one of the winged ones doing here?
This is the vampire who opened the gates for us.
Oh, is it? Oh, thanks for that, Leech. You did us a favour, you rightly did. We'll make this quick and painless for you.
How very considerate of you.
You vampires. You're not loyal to one another at all, are you? All you think about are your own self-interest.
And you humans do?
Perhaps more than you think, bloodsucker. Let him up.
You what?
I said let him up. He kept his word. That counts for something.
Are you insane?
We're not like them. 30 seconds, vampire. After that, you're fair game. If I were you, I wouldn't let us find you or any of your kind ever again.
You might live to regret this.
25 seconds.
Traitors! That's what my act would forever brand Razilim in the eyes of all other vampires now. In their eyes, any chance for redemption we would have had died with Duma. But for the first time, I didn't care. Regardless of whether I was the right one to lead my kin, as long as I commanded them, we would be free of the petty squabbling of our lesser brethren. Let them fight amongst themselves. We would soar over them all, free in the skies of Nosgoth.
Poor Duma. So proud, so sure of yourself, so deluded. You underestimated the humans, and they destroyed you. You let those flying rats live, and they made your death possible. You ought to have seen the extermination through when you had the chance. I salute you, big brother. You left this world showing me what I always suspected, that you were a fool. Now, it falls to me to clean up the mess that you left behind. Step forward, Joel. I am at your service, Lord Zevon. Before the humans began their uprising, your Inquisition sought out the treacherous bloodline of Raziel and delivered them to Kain's divine justice. It was a crime not to let you finish your work. I appreciate that you see that, my lord. These vermin, they allowed Duma's fall to happen. His blood is on their hands just as much as it is on the humans. For such a crime as this, there can be only one fitting punishment. Of course. I swear to Kain himself that when I am finished, not one drop of Raziel's blood will be left. I will spin it all into the ground, send their souls to face final judgment, and add their heads to my trophy collection.